sure to tune in to At Home with Christ Ministry with Julie Thomas, broadcasting Monday nights at 8 p.m. live on licmc.net, radio, Facebook, and YouTube.
The At Home with Christ podcast. Today I am interviewing and talking to a friend of mine. Her name is Natcole, and we're going to learn a little bit about her and what she does and how she can probably help you and I. Natcole, let's start off by you telling the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so I'm Natcole Staskowitz. I am the founder of, excuse me, Kinder Press and award-winning author to children's books. I've published more than 50 titles that also include nonfiction and self-help materials. And I also do workshops and helping others be able to go the journey of creating their own stories and also publishing their works. So
That's pretty interesting. When you say help others go the journey and create their own stories, what is that like?
So basically, I get information about what the story it is that they want to tell. Everybody kind of goes in it with their own objectives and have their own purpose behind it. So I kind of draw out what the purpose is and kind of help them along with the story they want to tell, and then also the whole part of publishing their book and kind of going the self-published route, because that's the way that I approached it, and help others be able to kind of start that process, generate their story, and continue on and publish their own books.
Okay, and how long have you been doing helping others create stories yourself?
So I actually just started. It was actually probably a little over a year that I've tapped into that part. Just being an author in general, it's so busy, right? You have so many different parts to it with the marketing, the writing, and just finding time to do it all. And then I also do workshops on the nonfiction side, as far as being able to obtain debt freedom on any salary, because I achieved that as well. So just trying to master all of that. I'm just not able to kind of work that in. So a little over a year, I've been helping others with their writing journey.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So did you start off wanting to be a writer yourself and then switch over to helping other people, or how did that go?
So I've always wanted to write, but again, just the duties, the way of our day-to-day lives, just making time for ourselves. And I basically, the way I rephrased it, once I kind of evaluated everything and put everything into perspective, to give myself permission to do what it is that I truly wanted to do, and what did I had the talent for. It basically just started with one book, and the very, very first one was my nonfiction about obtaining debt freedom. Once I learned the secret sauce and what it was, and what you needed to do to achieve it, and just the whole mindset of everything. Once I put it together and put it in a book, and I just thought, how useful this would have been to me if, well, prior to putting it in the book, how useful it would have been to me if I was younger, So that started with that first book. But it's kind of one of those things that one thing leads to another. You just start with the one thing, and I had to overcome self-doubt and everything. And once I achieved that and published my book, it just evolved into more. I did a project with my daughter, and then that led me into the children's books. So it kind of started from a little seed, and once I was able to pursue it and seeing that I was able to achieve it, I just naturally wanted to share with others.
Hmm. So, from your book about debt freedom,
Hmm.
what is um, what is the main lesson for everybody out there about debt? About debt, getting free from debt.
Well, the main thing is perspective. There's just
Mhm.
no way around that. And once your perspective change, like you have an idea of things you know about the basics of saving and spending and budgeting and everything. But it's this perspective and being able to kind of take inventory of yourself to see where you
Mhm.
kind of create like roadblocks for yourself,
Mhm.
preventing yourself from achieving those things. It's like once you
Mhm.
change that perspective, it's just everything just falls into place. So that and kind of uh, instant gratification that's out the door. You know, once you're trying to achieve debt
Mhm.
freedom, you pretty much already had your cake, right?
Mhm.
So you've already enjoyed. So now you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. So just having a different perspective and commitment to yourself, that's the main thing.
Wow. I mean that now see that's right there is just it's a thought because a lot of us are trying to get out of debt and a lot of people out there don't know how to get out of
Yeah.
debt. But if they had the tools and the resources that you have, maybe they could get out of debt.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, it's major because it's nothing like wanting to do something, but you don't quite know how to approach it. Versus, some people they kind of just because you don't know it's even possible, you don't entertain the possibility of getting out of debt, so you don't really try. But there's so many out there that is in those categories where they want to they're on the right path, but they just need a little extra help, and just having that added information is just helps all the better with their journey, and just setting them forth in their future. The younger you are, the better.
Amen to that. And
Yeah.
you say you're a children's book author.
Yeah.
You now tell our audience a little bit about that. When did you start writing children books?
So I started writing in 2020 during the pandemic. Um, Again, it was a difficult time for everyone, and we suffered so much loss. It was just it was just so surreal what was going on with the world, and we were learning how to grieve and just kind of push through because life doesn't stand still for anyone. So in those moments, it just really put things in perspective about like how do I want to proceed? What is it that I really want to do? Because I put so much time and energy in my family, my 9 to 5, but mostly I always put myself on the back burner, and it's not it's subconscious. You're always giving, especially when you have so many obligations. So I approached my daughter and I had asked her previously, and she turned me down, and I figured I was going to get the same answer, but we're sitting in the house, there's nowhere to go. I said, what the heck? So I asked her, would she like to do a book project with me?
Mm-hmm.
And she surprisingly said yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy, and I didn't know what story that I was going to write. I told her to just draw a character for me, and then I'll just draw inspiration from that. And
Mm-hmm.
she created this little girl character.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly when I looked at her, it was just, I knew it had to be about grief. And it
Mm-hmm.
just, she looks like she needed someone to, help her go through her journey. So anyway, the dialogue, the story, everything just kind of started coming to me, and it just all fell into place. But
Mm-hmm.
that really took it off, because again, I only thought one book. I'm like, if I could do this one book, hey, that's a huge accomplishment, because that's I never thought that I could do that. I've always wanted to, but I, talked myself into, well, no, you can't do that. You don't have time to do it. But
Mhm.
the main thing was starting, and I did that book, and then I approached my daughter. So within that short window of time, I did those two books,
Mhm.
uh, and was able to publish it. And then others, many others came. I had no plans for those, but
Mhm.
that's how I started. Just that one book.
Mhm. Wow, that's really interesting. Now, for somebody out there who, let's just say they want to write a self-help book or a
Mhm.
children's book, what is your advice for them?
Do it. uh, because we create memories, we create traditions within our family. Some people, they create stories just for their children. You never know how your story will impact others.
Mhm.
And I always say, one of the things I love about being an author is it's your perspective, it's your voice, and it's told only the way that you can tell it. So
Mhm.
it's really just do it. I don't care how little it may seem in your household. You don't know how much of a big impact that it can do to others, or,
Mhm.
give back to others just from putting it out there.
Mhm. Wow. Now, are you based in Michigan or are you
Yeah,
based out of?
I am based out of Michigan.
Okay. So for the audience out there who first of all who want to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
So you can get in touch with me through my website, kinderpress.org. That's KINDERPRESS.org. Or on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as well. It's under Natcole Staskowitz. I have
Mhm.
an author page there. And then I also have Instagram, which is my first and last name, Natcole Staskowitz.
Okay. And then tell the audience w- one last bit of information about advice about either if they want to write a children's book or they want to get out of debt. One last little tidbit of advice: how can they really get out of debt? Tell them the secret, your secret to getting out of debt.
Well, my main secret is having a one-on-one with yourself, because there's some hardcore strategies that you have to do, that you have to put into place now that you're trying to pull back the reins and reduce your spending and being mindful of everything, like being conscious, identify every dollar, just being very, very intentional about the whole process, and being aware of your own triggers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge thing. Just like being real honest with yourself, what it is that you want in life, where you are, where you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
and being mindful of what your triggers are, and then proceeding the process of
Mm-hmm.
going the path of being able to cut back and
Mm-hmm.
budget and do everything to get your
Mm-hmm.
get to the promised land.
Wow. Amen to that.
Yes,
And you know what? And we thank you for coming on our podcast. We'll have you back on the show if you'd like later on in the fall.
sure.
We can, we'll have you back on. And with that, thank you, Nicole, for being on our podcast show today.
Thank you. I enjoyed speaking with you and everyone else. Have a great one.
You too.
Be sure to tune in to At Home with Christ Ministry with Julie Thomas, broadcasting Monday nights at 8 p.m. live on licmc.net, radio, Facebook, and YouTube.
Hello, I am Julie Thomas, and the name of my podcast is it's the Well Water Christian Podcast, for my social media podcast show, which is At Home with Christ. And now I want to tell you about my latest TV show, which is going to be At Home with Christ TV. And you can reach that, and you can see all the episodes on Shrimp TV, on shrimp.com. So that you can go to this new platform, which is shrimp.com, and look for At Home with Christ TV under London. It is a fantastic show, and we hope that you will